and he's in his current shirt. Matt may never come back to the township again.
It's kind of a commute time, you see.
Their bills have been less, haven't they?
He threw his laundry in the wash, and then now he's.
Hello, everyone.
He can
Reporters, you know how they talk, they look at the reporter versus the camera. We gotta remember the cameras over there. We're supposed to talk into the camera. Now, Fred, are you social distancing yourself on the golf course?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's right, don't touch it.
Not that I'm.
Can you play with your plastic gloves on?
Ready? Okay. Welcome to the June meeting of the East Lampeter Sewer Authority, and I invite you to join us in the pledge of the American flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We've had the minutes for weeks now, so unless there's any additions or corrections, we're going to stand approved as written. Come to the treasurer's report. Checking account balance.
Okay, we have a checking account balance of $13,949.03.
I don't think you have any bills there, but we have some requisitions, right? Right, Matt? Some requisitions, these.
Yes, we do. We have a number of requisitions today. Our first requisition is number 03-546. That is payable to Herbert Rowland and Grubick Inc. in the amount of $2,398.23. And that is for work associated with the fertility pump station wet well mixing project. The next is requisition number 03-547. That is payable to Franklin Miller Incorporated. They are the manufacturer and supplier of the diminutor and control panel, which was supplied for the Stauffer Run pump station. It was the piece of equipment that was replaces an existing unit that had broken. And that's in the amount of $51,257. The next requisition is number 03-548. This is payable to Colonial Electrical Supply Company. This is for the SCADA improvement project in the amount of $7.90. The next is requisition number 03-549. This is payable to Lowe's. Again, this is for the SCADA upgrade and improvement project. There are two transactions that was included in part of this requisition, and they total $51.51. Next requisition is 03-550. This is payable to Capital Electric. Again, this is for the SCADA upgrade and improvement project. And there are six sales orders that are included as part of this requisition. The total of those sales orders is $487.51. The next requisition is number 03-551. This is payable to Hajoka Corporation for the SCADA upgrade and improvement project. There are two invoices included with this project, or with this requisition. They total $81.48. And the final requisition is number 03-552. This is payable to United Electric Supply Company of Lancaster. This is for the SCADA upgrade improvement project and is in the amount of $150.10.
All signed, right? So we're looking for a motion to pay the requisitions. All in favor? No, you said any invoices up.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bills, two bills there, yep. HRG,
One to HRG for $913 and one to Nicholas and Hohenall for $703.
just one question about that. On the last page of that report there on the Nicholas Hohendale, it says we have a previous balance. Was that paid, do you know? On the very last page there. The 702 is on the back side there, which it shows up on here, but this 2047.50 says previous balance. Any ideas about that?
I'm going to assume that it's been paid, otherwise Kevin would have made the check for the larger amount.
Okay, just, yep, 702 and 913. Okay, so we're going to look for a motion to pay the bills and, you have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Guess we'll get right into old business here. Fertility upgrade chopper pump.
I'll start with that. A notice to proceed for that project was issued to the contractor, which is Desco Design and Construction, to begin work on May 18th of 2020. Per the terms of the contract, the work must be substantially complete by August 1st of this year, with final completion occurring by August 16th. Since we've had the notice proceed and we also conducted a pre-construction conference with members of the township staff as well as the contractor. Contractor has made some submission of submittals for that project, which we are currently reviewing and will be returning to him. I think they're getting their submittals and all the materials in place, and then they'll be mobilizing to the site.
Anything else? Okay, I'm going to move on to Stauffer Run upgrade.
We continue to work on the design of the pump replacement for that project. And we're looking to, Charlie, I'll be touching base with you and Larry to schedule a site visit with some of our other staff there to gather some additional information that we need to continue moving forward with the design work.
Yeah, I think give Larry a heads up that you will be getting in contact with us, and he said he will make sure it's scheduled so we can make sure that happens.
Okay.
Okay, any other old business? Nobody has anything? We're gonna go to new business. A would be Resolution 2020-3 PLGIT.
PLGIT stands for Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust. So it's basically the resolution that they require in order to set up a new account. The purpose of the new account would be to handle the deposits and transactions for the stormwater fund. That's basically it. So I don't know if you want to talk about, how the authority feels at this point regarding the stormwater fee billing, but that at this point is anticipated to begin July 1st. And so we would need the bank account so that we can take care of the appropriate transactions related to those funds. So that the purpose of the resolution is just to set up the account. If at some point today you want to talk about, going forward with the fee billing, that's a separate discussion, I guess.
I did make 3 copies of the resolution for signature if you approve it, and also included in that was an email. Kevin's going to need some personal information, driver's license, social security number. I thought there was something else, but if you didn't get the email, let me know and I can forward you that information. They said it has to be a real clear picture of your license. I don't know what they mean by clear. Good. In color, probably in color. But it's in the email, the information he's going to need. Who do you need?
I think
All members.
all members.
I think
have
all
to.
members.
Really? Because all signatures are good on PLGIT. That's what, at the last meeting or the meeting prior,
What we did with the
Elsa.
sewer authority.
My only question about the account, Hutch, is that will we have a separate checkbook than other than what we are having now for the stormwater?
Correct.
For the sewer?
You'll have 2 funds you'll be working with, the sanitary sewer and the stormwater funds.
Yeah, the way Kevin explained it, Elsa's under the township blanket right now, but it's in a drop down. This way, with another account opened up, the Elsa and stormwater be able to be under its own drop down, so you don't have to search for it.
Okay, we're gonna look for a motion to pass the resolution 2020-3.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that, Rick.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Now, I think we probably should discuss, the billing or whatever for starting on July 1st.
At your last meeting, there was some discussion about it, and the authority members asked me to approach the Board of Supervisors about their feelings on it, and they discussed it at a public meeting, and their recommendation would be to go forward with the billing starting in July as planned.
Yeah, I personally don't have any problem at all with starting at July 1st. Before there was some discussion, I think there was some uncertainty with what was going on, but
I'd agree with you, Rick. I was probably the one that had the most reservations, not knowing what this was probably our meeting 3 months ago. So I wasn't sure who knew where the world was going to be then, but it seems like we're kind of heading in the right direction. But I personally have no problem starting the fee.
so the township really, they want us to approve the go ahead with the billing, or what do they want us to do?
At this point in time, you've adopted the fee, the rate structure that's in place. So I think the only action that you would take would be to stop us from doing it at this point. I think everything's in place to move forward. And so if you wanted us to stop, you could take an action to do that. But otherwise, I think we're okay.
Is there anybody on the board that thinks we should put a stop to it at all?
I'm okay moving forward with the July 1.
Yeah, I'm okay
So,
moving.
yeah, so that's where I think we're at as a board here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Look for it in your mailboxes.
Okay, next one is Resolution 2020-4, the 160 Greenfield Road.
So this requires a little bit of an explanation. We've been working on stormwater improvements where Greenfield Road goes under the Amtrak line for several years now. We had come up with a design and, the system at the time when we started and up until recently, the stormwater system belonged to the township. And so we had been talking with the property owners that are on the downstream side of this improvement, just off of Greenfield Road. There's 4 property owners? 3, okay, 3 property owners that, well, plus Amtrak.
Yeah.
That we had to get easements from in order to put the system across their property to help with the flooding conditions that we have down there. So, again, we were working with those property owners as it was owned by the township. Now that the system has been transferred to the authority. Any additional actions related to this project or any other stormwater project, are under the authority of Elsa. So the one property owner, which is right adjacent to Greenfield Road, 160 Greenfield Road, there's a business there, it's called Arcabolano. We've made, what I would call Herculean efforts to try and talk to this property owner, address any concerns that they have. We've gotten the township solicitor involved. They've talked with their attorney. It's gone back and forth. I don't know how many times. It's just been a very long, and it's been frustrating to us staff people because for a lot of the time they just stop communicating. They won't address the issues. So we got to the point where, and the Board of Supervisors were ready to take action to take the easement by eminent domain. They had that all teed up, and somebody said, well, wait a second, the stormwater system doesn't belong to the township anymore. It's the sewer authority's property now. So in order to move forward, if the authority would agree to do this, we'd have you consider adopting this resolution, which essentially starts the eminent domain process to take this easement across 160 Greenfield Road. We would still hope to negotiate a resolution with the property owner, but unfortunately, we think this action is needed in order to get them to communicate, what the issues are, and we can try to address them so that it's resolved. It does go through the extreme southern portion of their parking lot as close to the railroad tracks as possible. And so there would be some we don't know. To be honest, we don't know what the issue is. We've indicated to them.
And that building is not owned by housing.
It is not.
They make food services,
I'm aware.
and they got to be really strong.
I'm sure.
It's owned by an Italian company, Italian guy. It's owned by American, but it's the company. I didn't know they were from the town. We have dealt with them, but they're really good.
Well, then our experience isn't all that strange, I guess. But
I mean, it's just a European manufacturer who doesn't understand Americans. He's just a hard-headed Italian who just doesn't understand Americans.
We've had multiple meetings with them and answered all their questions. I actually had a phone conversation with their attorney, answered all of his questions, basically the same questions they asked.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped, all conversation stopped.
Well, I know they got to be hurt. I mean, they make the pasta machines and stuff like that, and they got to.
But it's not gonna cost them anything.
Well, I'm just saying that this is the least thing that they're worried about right now.
Well, and if our communications with them had only been in the last 3 months, I'd agree with you, but we've been trying for years.
2 years, at least 2 years now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We do have signed agreements from Amtrak. We have signed agreement with one of the property owners. I've had multiple meetings with another property owner, Landis, down there. Met with them on site, explained everything, answered all their questions. Their paperwork's with their attorney right now, and they're about ready to sign. So the only one outstanding is 160 Greenfield Road.
What are we asking for, a temporary and a permanent easement, or what?
Temporary construction, but a permanent 20-foot easement, so if the pipe would fail or we've got to do any work in there, we have the right to go on their property to.
What did we offer paying for?
We've asked them to give us a number, tell us what you want, kind of approach.
We asked them about repaving their parking lot to make sure the water slopes away from their building. They told them that it was going to be inconvenient for maybe 2 days while the pipe got installed.
Yeah, the value of the easement's probably in the $3,000-4,000 range. I mean, it's not a whole bunch of money, but
Well, that means we got to get to the point where they can do the MSU and see if they.
again, our hope is that by picking this hammer up, they'll start to talk to us and we can resolve it.
Are you aware that this is the next step that's being taken or in the works?
Yes,
Yeah.
their attorney's been told.
Sure.
Yeah, a letter's been sent by our attorney, the township attorney, stating what's the next stand. They had a certain amount of days to get back to us to let us know their stance on the project, and we hadn't heard nothing. So that's where the Board of Supervisors gave the right to the attorney to say, start the process. But I guess that's all going to have to turn over to Matt Cream now.
Right, who are you using on the legal side?
Yeah, Matt did look at the, township solicitor had drafted it again because we were going forward as a township project, but we did send this to Matt. Matt looked at it and he's fine with it in terms of the format and, what it says and that sort of thing.
So all this resolution, is this even a resolution?
It is a resolution.
Resolution not numbered.
It will be
2020-4.
Yeah, you'd be authorizing the taking, acquisition, appropriation of the easement. I know we're hitting you with this cold, so if you'd rather think about it for a month and ask more questions till your July meeting, that's fine. That's up to you.
Board of Supervisors are well aware of this whole process going on for the last year and a half, 2 years, and it was on their agenda for Monday night's meeting. And then the question came up, well, is it the board's decision? The Board of Supervisors, I'm sorry. And it's not, so that's why you're just finding out about it.
Have there been compensation agreements with the other landowners then, or you say there's been a couple other guys that?
They basically have said, where do we sign? You're going to help us with the flooding down here? Where do we sign?
Yeah.
Understand. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, they wanted to know if it's any cost to them for the installation or any of the cost for maintenance, and it's all in that easement agreement that the township responsibility.
Good. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's clearly a public improvement to.
Clearly a public improvement.
Public safety.
And would the attorney be taking the tax if they just want to go in at the main, so they get their money, they can out of it, they get legal fees, they get everything else out of it?
My impression is that the attorney's been equally frustrated with his client. So I don't know that, but we did ask him, we said, tell us what your legal fees are. We'll cover that.
Yeah, because I couldn't speak directly to them.
Well, at this point, it's in the solicitor's hands.
Yes.
Charlie and I.
Oh, we met with him twice, in-house. And we went down there and I kept saying, what do you need? What do you need? What do you want to talk about? He said, let me think about it. But since the attorneys got involved, I couldn't have direct conversation with their attorney, but our attorney contacted him to try to get some answers, and his response was his client won't call him back.
Yeah, then you have to.
I don't have any need to wait till next month to discuss it again. I think what I'm is I'm fine with taking a vote on the resolution right now. That's me. But,
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2020-4, 160 Greenfield Road.
we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you. We'd really like to get this improvement done this year.
I bet.
The contract's all ready to
I've
go.
flooded down there all my life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is going to help. It's not going to mean it will never flood again, but it's going to make a big difference.
It's actually
Until
a
you stall.
4-foot diameter pipe that we're installing.
Until you
A 4-foot
stall.
diameter.
You're not supposed to drive through it, Fred. You're supposed
No, but if you went fast enough.
That bridge ain't that wide.
By them stone walls there to keep it on.
You never got a box truck stuck there, though, did you, Fred?
Oh, we did. We did. We lost the box truck in. That's right.
That was what I was saying.
A likely story there.
No, we did. We lost the truck in.
Any other new business?
One of the items, two items here. I'm working on developing a list of sanitary and storm sewer projects that to be compiled here for projects that are either under discussion or on the sanitary side that may have been included as part of the Act 537 plan for the board's review, and also including on the storm sewer side now. So that's part of your, since that's under your control as well, for your use and information as it relates to some possible infrastructure funding, if that does indeed come through the federal government, as we discussed it last month. So we had a meeting with township staff last week to discuss that, and I am working on developing that list, and I'll get that to township staff here for their input, further input, and we'll have that for the board at next month's meeting. The second item I have is HRG received an RFP from the city of Lancaster for engineering services at the wastewater treatment plant as it relates to the installation of a new clarifier. And before HRG spent any time on that, I wanted to discuss that with the board and get the board's opinion if that was something that we should even be considering going forward. You know, we value our relationship with the authority there, and I know that there has been separation previously with work that's been done, but this was something here that was recently received by our office, and it is work that that our office does. But however, before we spend any time, I just want to get the board's feeling on if this was something that they would allow us to submit on, or if we wanted to keep that separation. So You know, it would be work that other individuals at HRG would do. I would not be involved with that.
Why are they out shopping?
Yeah, they haven't done this in a long time. I can remember, I'm not sure how long CDM's been doing this, but it's got to be at least 10 years. And before that, everything was exclusively done by Buchard Horn. And they had a falling out with Buchard Horn, and they moved the business to CDM. But they haven't gone out shopping for engineering services in a very long time.
CDM was there in 2004,
Okay, so it's been longer than that.
16 years.
Now they do have the city does have a new public works director, and you know maybe he's decided, or maybe the mayor decided that you know they wanted to shop everything. I don't know.
Good for them.
That's the first question I asked when we found out about it. What's going on?
Yeah. So is there, I mean, because of all that inner city stuff, they got stuff, I mean, don't you want opposing engineers?
That's why I thought it worked.
Yeah. Not opposing, but separate. Well, opposing, separate point of view.
That's why Matt's asking. I mean, there is a potential conflict, and that's why Matt's asking you that question.
Isn't that the best for everybody involved if there are different companies working on? I mean, I would hope that if CDM come in with a recommendation that if there's any issues that, at least from our point of view, that HRG would be able to find them, you know, for our protection.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know.
What percent of that clarifier project are we gonna have to pay for?
Be about 14 to 15%.
Same as the other capital projects that go on down there.
Do you represent any of the other partners?
We do some financial services, as I believe in the past, for LASA, but that's on a project by project basis. It's not, I think we've done one financial project for LASA in the past, but no other retainer services.
Does CDM do any other work for any of the other partners?
They are retained by SLASA, Suburban Lancaster Sewer Authority.
Yeah, and I mean, Suburban and the city have been joined at the hip forever.
Right.
We do like further away. I mean, East Calico, I think they do.
Maybe, I don't know.
If this was private business, I would say there shouldn't be conflict, but I don't know. What do you do? What do you do public?
Well, if the authority's uncomfortable with it, then you tell Matt, we don't want you to bid on this project.
Common sense is you'd be uncomfortable with it. Right?
And that's fine. It was something it was something that came to us. We weren't searching for it. And
Right.
well, I just wanted to bring it up and discuss with you.
But I don't think we can tell them if they can or can't, but we can surely say, just common sense is, you know, we want our own dog in the hunt. We don't want, and it's not like it's a rosy, controversial relationship,
Sure.
right?
I agree 100%.
Sorry.
Sorry, Matt.
Hey, no problem. No worries there. It was something I just wanted to let you know and bring up to you, and make you aware of it. So
Appreciate you bringing
appreciate
it.
all the feedback.
I understand what you mean. It's just that I don't think our history is very good with the city to say that we really trust them in doing much of anything. So week.
True.
I mean, all the years I've been sitting on here, there's always been fighting about something.
It has definitely gotten better recently, but we have had our challenges over the years, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
That's it, Matt? Do you have
That's everything.
any other business? Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
You got a motion?
Second.
You got a second? There's nobody that's not in favor of it. Oops, I better not take this
I
off.
know. I can't wait to get outside for you to turn thing
Okay, we got resolution papers here. We got signed.
on. And what do you want about this Pliget thing?
Oh, do you want to take copies of our
Yeah, you want the driver's license?
I've got, yeah, but I think we